Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are. We're doing a few more bits to Kitt this afternoon. So the jobs we've had to do is to put the front lights on, and also I'm going to try and fit these bad boys, which are the front headlights. So I've been really busy recently trying to finish the bungalow, and we're currently doing the front garden. Finally, we'll actually have a little bit of space to park Kitt when he's actually finished. So we're doing that at the moment. So I want us to come out, just do a little bit on Kitt this afternoon. So we've got the front lights, we've got the front fog lights, if you want to call them that, there. So I've fitted them, and also the indicators on the end there. That actually had a little bit of paint on the front, so I had to give that a bit of a clean. So what I've been trying to do is just get everything clean, because it's just been a bit dusty. And I've rebolted the lights on the front. And we are going to connect both headlights as well. That's a job that I'm now going to do. I'm going to finish that off. So what I'm going to try and do is do all the bits I can on the outside of the car. I mean, as you can see, we've got the indicators there. We've fitted them. If you did watch my last video, you will know that the car's got to go back in the garage because it's a bit fumy. Whenever I start it, I knew there was a problem somewhere, but it's one of them things. It's just got to go back in the garage and not to be looked at. I don't think that's anything serious. In fact, I know it isn't anything serious. It's just a bit fumy. I think that's a simple fix. There's a couple of things I think it might be, but it's not all bad, because that gives me an opportunity to now do the heater core and also the rear springs. If you remember from a previous video, again, I did say, didn't I, that the back of the car is actually sat too low. Too high. Kitt's sat too high at the back. The springs were the right springs to purchase for the Trans Ams. However, they were just slightly too hard. Quite a few people have mentioned this. Other people have had this issue before. So I just need to buy some new rear springs so I can get the springs done while it's in the garage, and also the heater core. Also, we're going to sort the fuminess out. It's just a little bit too fumy. It's a bit too smelly. Every time I start it up, I go indoors and I absolutely stink. It shouldn't be like that. Even my V8 wasn't like that when I had it before my last Kitt. So we're just spending a little bit of time doing some bits and bobs really this afternoon. Saturday afternoons are really the only time I get to just spend a bit of time out here on the car. But it, you know, he is getting there. Oh, and another thing I'm going to do is, while I'm doing all the exterior of the car, what I'm going to do is get his scanner. I think I've mentioned this in a previous video as well anyway, but I'll just say it again. I am going to get his scanner all installed, which goes across there, but then the front nose will have to be on. So that's something that I'm going to do in the next couple of months as well. So we're going to do that. Get the lights, both headlights, indicators, get everything wired in, get everything, all the cables ran into the actual car through the bulkhead. And then we're going to start on the rear lights after that, get the rear lights done, and then we can start thinking about the washers, you know, so things like that I can do while the car is still here. I can't put it in the garage quite yet because we need an MOT in order to drive it from here to the garage. I could put it on the back of a truck, but if I put it on the back of a truck, it's going to cost me a bit of money to get it to the garage and then back again. So I could just use this time wisely and try and get as much of Kitt done as I can, so he goes in for an MOT, and then once he's roadworthy, I can then drive him to the garage myself and then leave him there. If we get to a point where I don't think he's going to pass the MOT because there's still things not on the car that need to be on there, then I will just get them trailered to the garage. That might just be faster and easier, and then they can do all of that. So we'll just see. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing what I can do. You know, I've got a little bit of time most weekends. So I'm just going to go through a couple of things which may help you. If you ever decide to build a kit, or might just be one of them did you know sort of things. When I took these off, I actually numbered them. Yeah, common sense, I know, but little things like this just makes it easier. So I numbered them. You can see that's why they're numbered. And another thing, and this is something that I don't actually think a lot of people do when they build these kits, is these here, these indicators, right? That is actually from a Metro. That is actually from a Metro car, that indicator. Now that might actually be upside down anyway. That's going to be upside down, but I just wanted to get that on there for now. But this is the same. This one here, look. If you look at this one, yeah, there you go. Look, Metro, near side front. So that is actually from a Metro. So for those of you that know what them cars are, and you might be wondering, well, Paul, why on earth have you got the plastic fronts from a Metro on your Trans Am? Well, you need these obviously for your indicators anyway. And another little trick is I've actually painted these. This is a little trick that a friend of mine told me. You may be able to notice that I've sprayed that with a tint colour, a black tint, and there's actually about 2 or 3 layers on there. It's probably not quite as shiny as it should be because I've had to rub that off. I've had to rub that down to try to get some of the paint spray off. When that went in for the paint shop, it kind of went over the plastic. So the reason why you spray these dark with tint is because when you're driving along, you don't want to see a big orange section at the front of kit. It just looks awful. And a friend of mine told me about that little trick, and it's a brilliant idea. So that's why these are actually slightly darker. So when it all goes in, if you can imagine when the nose goes on and you're driving down the road, you're not actually going to see the indicators. All you're going to see are the 4 lights. Yeah, at the front of the nose, like in the nose itself. And then when you turn on the indicator, you will easily see it, but you just don't see them when you're driving along. If you left these the normal colour, that would be bright orange, and that would be, you know, a white colour. So you'd easily see that when someone's driving down the road. So it's all these little things, all these little details that a lot of people don't always bother to do and don't really think about. So that's just why I do it like that. But it is now starting to get a bit warmer, well, especially here in the UK, so I'm going to use this time wisely to try and do some bits. But yeah, we're cracking on. What have we got here? Got some. They are the actual surrounds, which probably will need to be painted. So they're just plastic, so we'll need to paint them. But there you go, guys, just another quick update video along the way. So there you go. Still lots more to do, but we are making progress slowly. And I think I'm about to go in to have some dinner, so we're going to close this down for now. Two of my favourite parts of the car, I'm going to finish with this, right? Two of my favourite parts of the entire car are his Trans Am hood and the clear glass rear hatch. Those two things I think are the best parts. I mean, of course you've got the scanner, you've got the electronics, but I mean, in terms of when you look at the car, when you look at Kitt driving down the road, the first thing I think that really stands out is the hood, you know, with the scoop. I just think it looks lovely, right, with the turbo hood there, and especially when you go to car shows, because I personally think you have to have a clear glass rear hatch, and you guys will know that I spent 2 years looking for my clear glass rear hatch. It was a damn nightmare trying to find one. It took me 2 bloody years. So yeah, it's lovely. I mean, it doesn't look that great at the moment because it's not all clean. You know, I've not really polished anything for quite a while, but once I do give them a polish, that's going to come up really well. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again in the next video with some more updates. So it's getting a bit dark here. It's a lovely day. There's actually a plane. Look, I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't zoom in. Anyway, if you're not already subscribed to Funky Projects, then just hit that subscribe. Hit like if you want, leave a comment, say hello. But lots more stuff coming up. And for those of you that have asked me about my mobility scooter projects and other stuff, yes, I do have it here, but I just don't have the time and don't have the space at the moment to actually do part 2, but it is going to get finished. I've got lots of stuff to do, lots of more projects coming up. So watch this space. Some absolutely epic stuff. Yeah, but we'll just do one thing at a time. So that's all from me. Thanks guys. See you again very soon. Take care.